The Helios research station hung in low Earth orbit like a silver needle against the black velvet of space. Inside, Dr. Kira Patil adjusted her instrument readings for the 100th time, searching for any anomaly in the quantum field measurements that might explain the strange phenomena plaguing Earth's communication networks for the past week. The disruptions had started subtly: random data packet losses, inexplicable latency spikes, and bizarre interference patterns in quantum encryption systems. But as the days progressed, the anomalies grew more pronounced, following a pattern that seemed almost intentional. "Dr. Patel, you need to see this," Marcus Wong, her quantum computing specialist, called from across the lab. His usually steady hands trembled as he manipulated the holographic display. "The quantum field distortions, they're not random noise. They're forming coherent patterns." Kira floated across the zero-gravity laboratory, her heart racing. The three-dimensional visualization showed waves of quantum probability collapsing in impossible ways, creating stable structures that defied everything they knew about quantum mechanics. "It's like," Marcus searched for words, "like something is manipulating the quantum foam itself." But that's impossible. Nothing can control quantum probability at this scale. Before Kira could respond, the station's emergency klaxons blared to life. Red warning lights bathed the lab in crimson as Captain Sarah Reynolds' voice crackled over the intercom. "All personnel to emergency stations. Unknown objects have just appeared at the edge of our solar system. Multiple contacts, moving at relativistic speeds." Kira and Marcus shared a look of dawning comprehension. The quantum distortions hadn't been a natural phenomenon. They'd been probes, testing Earth's quantum defense capabilities. Within hours, the visitors made themselves known. Massive ships, each larger than Earth's largest cities, emerged from quantum tunnels throughout the solar system. Their hulls seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal, defying conventional physics. The alien vessels positioned themselves in a complex geometric pattern around Earth, their intentions unknown. Military responses proved futile. Conventional weapons passed right through their quantum-shifted hulls. Nuclear deterrents were rendered inert by localized probability fields. Earth's most advanced defensive systems might as well have been stone axes against. The crash site became a laboratory where human scientists made their most startling discovery yet. The aliens, calling themselves the Quantum Collective, had built their entire civilization on the principle of perfect quantum probability manipulation. They had achieved technological marvels by eliminating uncertainty from the universe itself. But they had never encountered a species like humanity, beings whose consciousness naturally created quantum uncertainty. To them, humans were walking paradoxes, living generators of chaos in their perfectly ordered universe. As Kira studied the recovered alien technology, she began to understand the true implications of this discovery. Human consciousness wasn't just disrupting alien technology. It was actually expanding the possibilities of how it could function. Where the Quantum Collective had built devices that operated on perfect probability, human interaction caused these same devices to evolve, adapt, and develop new capabilities. "We're not just defending ourselves," she explained to the United Earth Council. "We're showing them a whole new way to interact with reality itself. Our primitive minds might actually represent the next step in cosmic evolution." The council chamber erupted in debate, but Kira's attention was drawn to the window, where another alien vessel was attempting to stabilize its quantum field. The ship's hull rippled like mercury in a storm, its perfect geometry disrupted by the chaotic quantum fluctuations emanating from billions of human minds below. In that moment, she understood that humanity's greatest weakness, our unpredictability, our chaos, our inability to achieve perfection, had become our greatest strength. The universe, it seemed, had been waiting for a species that could embrace uncertainty and turn it into possibility. As the first month of first contact drew to a close, Earth found itself in an unprecedented position. Rather than being conquered, humanity had become an essential key to unlocking the next stage of cosmic evolution. The question was no longer whether we would survive, but how we would use this unexpected power to shape the future of both our species. And in the quantum chaos of human consciousness, infinite possibilities awaited. General Elena Santos watched through reinforced glass as researchers swarmed around the captured alien vessel. 6 months had passed since first contact, and humanity had moved from defensive survival to aggressive innovation. The ship's liquid metal hull no longer flowed with its original quantum grace. Instead, it pulsed with new patterns, responding to the human mind studying it. "The integration is at 70%, Dr. Puddle reported, her voice tight with excitement. She stood beside the general, tablet displaying real-time data from the experimental quantum interface. "The neural networks are accepting human input far better than we anticipated. The breakthrough had come when they stopped trying to eliminate human consciousness's chaotic effect on quantum systems and instead embraced it. Rather than fighting against their natural quantum uncertainty field, they had learned to amplify it, direct it, shape it to their will. "Show me," Elena commanded, making her way to the testing chamber. Inside, rows of modified quantum interface chairs waited, each one a hybrid of salvaged alien technology and human innovation. The chairs looked almost organic, their surfaces rippling slightly as if breathing. Dr. James Chen, now heading the Neural Integration Division, greeted them at the entrance. "We've discovered something remarkable," he said, leading them to the central control station. "The quantum chaos generated by human consciousness isn't random at all. It follows patterns. Emotional patterns, thought patterns. We can train people to control it." On the main screen, a visualization showed the quantum probability field surrounding the test facility. Where alien technology created rigid geometric patterns, human minds generated flowing, fractal-like structures that constantly evolved and adapted. "Watch this," James said, nodding to one of the test pilots. Lieutenant Maria Rodriguez settled into an interface chair, neural sensors connecting with her consciousness. The quantum field around her began to pulse in rhythm with her thoughts. The captured alien ship responded immediately. Its hull rippled, then stabilized into new configurations. Weapon systems that had been dead for months hummed to life, but instead of following their original programming, they adapted, evolved, became something new. "The aliens built their technology to be perfect," Kira explained, watching the transformation with wonder. "But perfection is static. By introducing human consciousness into their systems, we're teaching them to evolve." Elena studied the data scrolling across multiple screens, and the defensive applications. "Better than we hoped," James replied. "Human pilots can now generate targeted quantum disruption fields. We can disable alien technology at will, or," he paused, bringing up another display, "we can do this." The test chamber hummed as Maria focused her thoughts. The alien ship's weapons powered up, but instead of failing, they fired. Controlled perfectly by her quantum-enhanced consciousness, the beam struck a target drone, but rather than destroying it, the weapon enveloped it in a quantum field that transformed its very structure. "We're not just breaking their technology anymore," Kira said softly. "We're changing how it works at a fundamental level. Every human mind connected to these systems adds new possibilities, new ways of thinking that the original designers never imagined." But success brought its own problems. As more humans learned to control their quantum abilities, strange phenomena began to manifest worldwide. People reported shared dreams, moments of spontaneous quantum entanglement between minds, and brief glimpses of possible futures. The Quantum Collective, watching from their remaining ships in high orbit, sent a new message, this time engineered to work through the quantum chaos of human consciousness. It was a warning. "They say we're approaching a threshold," Kira translated, her face pale as she read the quantum-encoded text. "Something they call the consciousness barrier. Apparently, there's a reason they chose perfect order over chaos." Elena leaned forward, studying the alien text. "Elaborate." "According to them, when a species develops sufficient control over quantum probability fields through consciousness alone, they risk triggering a cascade effect, a quantum awakening that could reshape reality itself." Kira looked up from the message. They're not just worried about us disrupting their technology anymore. They're afraid we'll accidentally tear apart the fabric of space-time. But humanity had come too far to turn back. In research facilities around the world, more interface chairs were being constructed. Training programs were established to teach people to control their quantum abilities. The first human-modified alien ships were being prepared for test flights. We need to push forward, Elena decided, watching Maria guide the captured vessel through increasingly complex maneuvers. But we need to be smart about it. Set up quantum dampening fields around all testing facilities. Establish consciousness monitoring protocols. And most importantly, she turned to face the research team. We need to understand exactly what the collective is so afraid of. As if in response to her words, the quantum field throughout the facility pulsed with new energy. For a brief moment, everyone present felt their minds touch, connected through the quantum probability matrix that human consciousness had learned to manipulate. In orbit, the remaining collective ships adjusted their positions, maintaining their distance from Earth. But now their perfect geometric formations had begun to show signs of change. Subtle variations in their quantum fields that mimicked human thought patterns. They're learning from us, James realized, studying the readings, just as we're learning from them. The question is, what happens when both sides fully understand what we've discovered? The answer would come sooner than anyone expected, and it would change the fate of not just humanity or the quantum collective, but of consciousness itself throughout the galaxy. As night fell over the facility, the captured ship continued to pulse with new patterns, its quantum field resonating with the dreams of billions of humans below. And in those dreams, possibilities multiplied endlessly, each one a potential future waiting to be born from the creative chaos of human consciousness. Captain Maya Chen stood at the command interface of the Quantum Dreamer, humanity's first converted starship. The bridge looked nothing like the sterile command centers of science fiction. Instead, organic crystalline structures grew from the walls, pulsing with the combined consciousness of her crew. Each station was unique, shaped by the quantum resonance of the officer who operated it. Quantum drive stabilized. Lieutenant Sarah O'Neill reported from her station, her mind merged with the ship's propulsion systems, ready for our first independent jump. The mission was straightforward but revolutionary, the first human-crewed journey beyond the solar system. After a year of preparation, reverse engineering, and integration with alien technology, humanity was ready to take its first real steps into the galaxy. Maya closed her eyes, connecting with the ship's quantum field. The Dreamer responded instantly, its hybrid systems humming with possibility. Unlike the rigid quantum technology of the collective, their modified ships could adapt, evolve, even improvise during flight. All stations, prepare for quantum translation, Maya ordered. Around her, the crew's consciousness merged partially with the ship, creating a quantum network of human minds working in perfect chaos. Jump in 3, 2, 1. Reality shifted. The quantum drive, enhanced by human consciousness, didn't just punch through space. It rewrote probability itself. Stars streaked past not as lines, but as waves of possibility, each one representing a different potential path through space-time. When they emerged, Alpha Centauri hung before them, its binary stars painting the bridge in golden light. But they weren't alone. Multiple contacts, Tactical Officer Jin Park announced, his quantum-enhanced sensors reaching out. Collective ships, but something's different about them. 3 collective vessels hung in high orbit around Alpha Centauri b, their once perfect geometric forms now showing subtle variations. As the Dreamer approached, their quantum fields pulsed in patterns that seemed almost curious. "We're receiving a transmission," Sarah reported. "It's clear. They've adapted their communications to work with our quantum chaos." The message that came through was unexpected. "We have been watching, learning. Your chaos changes us. We request dialogue." This wasn't part of the mission plan. The collective had maintained its distance since the first contact crisis, their remaining ships observing Earth from the edges of the solar system. This was the first direct communication in months. "Open a channel," Maya ordered, feeling the ship's quantum field adjust to facilitate communication. "This is Captain Chen of the Quantum Dreamer. We're listening." The response came not in words, but in quantum patterns that translated directly into understanding. The collective ships were different now, changed by their prolonged exposure to human quantum fields. They had begun to develop their own form of quantum chaos, a hybrid of their perfect order and humanity's creative uncertainty. "Your species brings change," the message continued. "Some fear this, others wish to understand, to evolve." As they spoke, Maya noticed something remarkable. The quantum fields of both human and collective ships were beginning to synchronize, not into rigid patterns, but into a flowing dance of order and chaos. "We've detected something else," Jin reported suddenly. "Quantum signatures, massive ones, coming from deeper in the system. They're old, very old." The collective ships responded immediately. "Yes, we found them when we arrived. Remnants of those who came before. Those who reached the barrier and transformed." Screens throughout the bridge lit up with data as the ship's sensors, enhanced by human consciousness, began analyzing the ancient quantum signatures. They showed structures that defied conventional physics, vast networks of pure quantum energy that seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously. "The consciousness barrier," Maya breathed, remembering the warnings. "These are from a species that crossed it." "Not crossed," came the reply. "Transcended." But they were different. Singular consciousness, perfect order. They could not survive the transition. "We believe this was the only path until we encountered your chaos." The implications were staggering. The collective hadn't just been warning humanity about the dangers of quantum consciousness. They'd been expressing genuine fear about repeating history. But human consciousness, with its inherent chaos and creativity, might offer a new path. "Captain," Sarah called out, her voice tight with excitement. "The ship's quantum field is showing new configurations. The exposure to these ancient signatures, combined with the collective's hybrid patterns, it's teaching us something." Maya felt it through her connection to the ship. Their quantum technology was evolving again, incorporating aspects of both the ancient remnants and the collective's adaptations. But instead of moving toward either perfect order or pure chaos, it was finding a balance between the two. "We're picking up similar changes from Earth," Jin reported. "The quantum fields around our planet, they're reaching a new state of equilibrium. It's like the entire species is adapting." The collective ships moved closer, their quantum fields now pulsing in harmony with the Dreamers. "Your chaos brings change, but your consciousness brings control. Perhaps together we can find the path that those before us could not." As if in response to these words, the ancient quantum structures deeper in the system pulsed with new energy. The barrier between normal space and quantum reality thinned for a moment, and every human on the bridge glimpsed something extraordinary, a vision of consciousness itself evolving beyond the physical universe. "We came here to explore space," Maya said softly, watching the quantum fields dance between human and alien ships. "Instead, we're about to explore what consciousness itself can become." The journey that had started with humanity defending itself against alien invasion had led them to the threshold of something far greater. As the Dreamer hung in space above Alpha Centauri, its crew touched the edge of a mystery that would reshape their understanding of not just the galaxy, but of existence itself. Dr. Kira Patel stood before a holographic representation of the galaxy, watching quantum connections light up like neural pathways in a cosmic brain. After 3 months of joint research with the collective, they had finally begun to understand the true scope of what they'd discovered. "It's everywhere," she explained to the assembled human and collective representatives. "A quantum consciousness network spanning the entire galaxy. But it's not just a communication system. It's a living archive of consciousness itself." The ancient structures they'd found at Alpha Centauri were just nodes in a vast network. Every major star system contained similar quantum artifacts, all interconnected through probability fields that transcended normal spacetime. A collective representative, their liquid metal form now showing distinct signs of quantum chaos influence, stepped forward. We always knew the network existed. What we never understood was why we couldn't access it fully. Now we know. It requires both order and chaos to navigate properly. The breakthrough had come when they'd started analyzing the quantum signatures of various species' consciousness patterns. The collective's perfect order created stable but limited connections. Human chaos generated unlimited possibilities that lacked structure. But together, they could achieve something unprecedented. "Watch this," Kira said, activating a quantum interface chair. The neural link connected her consciousness directly to a node of the ancient network. Instead of fighting against the quantum chaos of her mind, the system embraced it, using it to explore multiple probability paths simultaneously. The holographic display erupted with new connections as Kira's consciousness reached through the network. Images and sensations flooded the chamber: alien worlds, extinct civilizations, evolutionary paths not taken. The quantum network wasn't just storing information, it was preserving the entire consciousness of species long gone. "They didn't vanish," she whispered, her mind touching memories millions of years old. "The ancient species, they found a way to upload their entire collective consciousness into the quantum network. But something went wrong." The collective representative's form rippled with agitation. The barrier. They tried to transcend physical existence entirely. Through her connection to the network, Kira could feel the truth of it. The ancient species had achieved perfect unity of consciousness, eliminating all chaos and uncertainty from their collective mind. But in doing so, they'd lost something essential: the ability to grow, to change, to evolve. "That's what you feared would happen to humanity," she realized, looking at the collective representatives. "You thought our developing quantum abilities would lead us down the same path." "Yes," they confirmed. "We saw how quickly you learned to control quantum probability fields. We feared you would achieve unity too quickly, without understanding the price." But humanity had done something unexpected. Instead of seeking perfect order, they'd maintained their chaos while learning to direct it. And in doing so, they'd shown the collective a new possibility: evolution without loss of individuality. General Santos, who had been quietly observing, stepped forward. "Show them what we found in the Orion arm," she commanded. Kira adjusted the quantum connection, and the holographic display shifted to show a different sector of the galaxy. Here, the quantum network pulsed with unusual energy patterns. Chaos and order intertwined in ways they'd never seen before. "There are others out there," Kira explained. "Species that found their own balance between chaos and order. They're scattered, hidden, but they're watching, waiting to see if we'll succeed where the ancients failed." The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity and the collective weren't just exploring an ancient network, they were participating in a galaxy-wide experiment in consciousness evolution. "We've detected attempts to contact us through the network," Kira continued. "Not with traditional communications, but through quantum consciousness resonance. They're inviting us to join something larger." The collective representatives moved closer to the display, their forms shifting with new patterns that mimicked human neural activity. "We have lived in fear of the barrier for millennia," they said. "We built our entire civilization around preventing its arrival. But perhaps we were wrong to fear change itself." As if in response to these words, the quantum network pulsed with new energy. Through her connection, Kira felt countless consciousness patterns brush against her mind. Some ordered, some chaotic, all seeking a way to evolve without losing their essential nature. The network isn't just a repository, she realized. It's a blueprint for what consciousness can become. The ancients didn't fail because they transcended physical form. They failed because they tried to eliminate chaos entirely. General Santos studied the shifting patterns of quantum energy. "So what's our next move?" We have ships ready to explore these connections, but we're dealing with something far beyond our original mission parameters. The answer came not from anyone in the room, but from the network itself. The quantum patterns shifted, forming a message that resonated in both human and collective consciousness. The pattern must be completed. Kira felt a shiver run through her quantum connection. "There's something else in the network," she said slowly. "Something waiting. The ancient species, I don't think they're as gone as we thought. And I think they've been waiting for someone to find a new path." The holographic galaxy continued to pulse with quantum energy, each fluctuation representing countless minds linked across space and time. Humanity had come seeking the stars, but they'd found something far more profound, a way to evolve consciousness itself. As the representatives debated their next steps, Kira maintained her connection to the network, feeling the quantum pulses of 1 billion years of consciousness flow through her mind. The real journey, she realized, was just beginning. The quantum network blazed with unprecedented activity. Throughout the galaxy, ancient nodes awakened as humanity, and the collective worked together to navigate the boundaries between order and chaos. But something else was stirring in the quantum depths. Patterns that had slumbered for millions of years were beginning to pulse with renewed purpose. Captain Maya Chen stood on the bridge of the Quantum Dreamer, now positioned at the heart of the Sagittarius Arm, where the network's energy readings were strongest. Dr. Kira Patil sat in the modified interface chair beside her, her consciousness deeply connected to the quantum field. "They're coming back," Kira announced, her voice distant as she interpreted the quantum signals. The ancient species, they never truly transcended. They'd been waiting in a kind of quantum stasis, watching, learning from every civilization that discovered the network. The ship's quantum field rippled as massive energy signatures began to materialize around them. Throughout the galaxy, similar events were occurring near major network nodes. The ancient consciousness was re-emerging into normal space. But they weren't alone. Ships from other hidden species were arriving. Civilizations that had found their own balance between chaos and order, drawn by the unprecedented resonance created by human and collective cooperation. Receiving transmission across all quantum bands, Lieutenant O'Neill reported. The message came not in words or even thoughts, but in pure quantum potential, translating directly into understanding. The ancient ones had built the network not as an escape, but as an incubator. They had recognized their own failure, the trap of seeking perfect order, and had preserved themselves in hopes that future species would find a better way. "You bring change." The quantum message resonated through every mind connected to the network. For the first time, order and chaos danced together without destruction. "You have shown us what we could not see." Through her quantum link, Kira felt the truth of it. The ancient species had achieved incredible advancement, but had lost the spark of innovation that chaos brought. The collective had gone the opposite route, enforcing perfect order out of fear. Humanity, with its embracing of controlled chaos, had shown a middle path. "They want to try again," Kira explained, interpreting the complex quantum signals. "But they need our help. All of us, humans, collective, and the other species who found balance. They want to learn how to evolve without losing their essential nature." The Dreamer's quantum field merged with the surrounding space as more ships arrived. A gathering of civilizations unlike anything in galactic history. Each brought their own unique blend of order and chaos, their own path toward evolution. "We're detecting massive quantum fluctuations," Jin reported from Tactical. "The network is realigning itself. It's creating something new." The ancient consciousness began to flow through the updated network, but instead of seeking pure transcendence, it was learning to exist in multiple states, both physical and quantum, ordered and chaotic. The process released waves of quantum energy that rippled through space, touching every connected mind. Maya felt it through her link to the ship, an expansion of consciousness that didn't require abandoning physical form. The quantum network was becoming something new, not an escape route from reality, but a way to experience existence on multiple levels simultaneously. They're offering us a choice, Kira said, her consciousness brushing against the ancient minds. We can help them restore balance to the galaxy, not by enforcing order or embracing pure chaos, but by showing how to walk the path between. The collective representatives, their forms now a beautiful blend of geometric precision and flowing chaos, move forward. We choose evolution over stagnation. We choose to learn rather than fear. Throughout the galaxy, quantum nodes pulsed with new life as ancient consciousness merged with modern innovation. The network transformed from a repository of the past into a living bridge between all forms of consciousness, physical, quantum, and everything in between. Humanity's chaotic creativity combined with collective precision to forge new pathways through quantum reality. The Ancient Ones contributed their vast knowledge while learning to embrace uncertainty again. Other species brought their own unique perspectives, creating a tapestry of consciousness more complex and beautiful than any single approach could achieve. The pattern completes itself. The Ancient Ones communicated through the network, not in perfect order or pure chaos, but in the endless dance between them. This is the true path of evolution. As the quantum energy settled into new configurations, Maya looked out at the assembled ships of dozens of civilizations. Humanity had started this journey thinking they were alone in the universe. Instead, they had become part of something far greater. A galactic community learning to balance the fundamental forces of consciousness itself. "Send word to Earth," she ordered, feeling the ship's quantum field pulse with possibility. "Tell them the real work is just beginning." The Quantum Dreamer's engines hummed with new energy as ancient knowledge merged with human innovation. Ahead of them lay not just the exploration of space, but the evolution of consciousness itself. The galaxy was awakening to new potential, and humanity's greatest gift had turned out to be exactly what everyone had feared: their beautiful, unpredictable chaos. In the quantum network that spanned the stars, countless minds touched and shared and grew, each maintaining their unique nature while contributing to something larger. The barrier between physical and quantum reality became not a wall to transcend, but a frontier to explore. The age of isolation was over. The age of evolution had begun.